Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon to my friends across the pond. And welcome to the Ticker Highlight Show. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. And I am currently joined by Andrew and Leisha. We'll introduce them in a second. But welcome to the Ticker Highlight Show. I would like to remind you what we do here each week. Every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, you can join us where we're going to give you an actionable trade idea. How do we come to this? Each of us, Andrew, myself, Alicia, although Andrew was off last week, so he may be a little short on ideas right now. But Andrew, Alicia, and myself, and Hans, or Frank, or whoever, we come with an idea to go long and an idea to go short, and we kind of discuss everyone's ideas, and then we develop a trade. Leisha is usually kind of our judge, jury, and executioner. If we want to share my screen.
That's cute, Andrew.
I've got my hat until summer's over.
I like it.
What? You look like Boss Hog.
It's definitely a Boss Hog hat.
So
it's a handmade straw hat.
It's a
quite nice.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Nothing says trading like a handmade straw hat. So obviously Friday was a bit of a banger. Powell came out, I think, not as dovish as maybe the market perceived it, but still pretty dovish. And markets took off. The S&P was up almost 100, good for 1.5%. The Qs were up, healthily back above the 21-day moving average. The Dow made a new all-time high. And so the only major index that has not made a new all-time high since the April rally is the Russell 2000. I continue to see upside there. It's trading 234-ish. I think you're eventually going to see it get up to the 240. It's got about $10 upside. Good for 4%. I think it will hit that all-time high. And we're watching rates really start to move in our direction. The market in the last 10 days went from about a 70% chance of a rate cut to 100% chance of a rate cut with a small odds of a second rate cut in September, back to 70, and now approaching 90%. So this swing of short-term rates is absolutely going to affect the Russell 2000 the most. It affects the Dow and the Qs and S&P as well, but the Russell 2000 is hands down the most interest rate sensitive, which is why on Friday I was pitching buying IWM calls or TNA calls or things along those lines while Powell was speaking. All right, now, a more under-the-radar headline hit relative to Powell hit last week, and it involved a partnership between Apple and Google.
Really?
Yes.
What are they doing?
Apple is investigating, and there's a reason Google is rallying. Apple is investigating and is likely to use Google's Gemini for its Siri AI search. They're also set up a cloud deal with Google as well.
Interesting.
So this is where my whole Tim Cook needs to go thesis comes from. Apple is going to buy back hundreds of millions, billions of dollars worth of its own stock. Google is going to spend that money developing Gemini and working on Gemini and improving it and making it the dominant force. Now, we all know, how many of us have kids? Raise your hand if you're here and you have kids. All right. Now, how often is that iPhone glued to their hand? Especially Gen Z and whatever the generation is that's in high school now. Yeah.
Well, I take it away, but I can't anymore. They're older now. But
yeah, exactly. And you can only shut it off for so long. Yeah. 24/7. Yep. 4 kids plus grandkids, a lot of screen time.
It does make for the best punishment, though. I remember that.
It does. It does.
It wasn't go to your room. It was I'm taking your phone, and you're
Yeah.
hanging out with us.
Oh, I'll go further than that. We'll turn off his phone. I'll walk in his room, take his Xbox out. I'll take every piece of the technology out of that room.
Yep.
And just watch them rot. In their own digital prison. Anyway, the point is, one of the things where that was perceived, and Hans rightfully so was worried about this, was that AI was a giant threat to Google. How many people had heard it?
Yes, the search part.
Yes. We were worried about people. People were no longer going to Google things. They were gonna GPT things.
Yeah.
Well, those kids glued to this phone, if Gemini is what is giving them their information, then what? They're going to become accustomed to Gemini. It'll be the same way that, consider ChatGPT is maybe MySpace, and this will be set up to be Instagram or Facebook or whatever you want to call it. And that is really the key. And then on top of that, they've got to integrate it into their office, their office suite, their Google Enterprise. So what I want to point out is, look at the move in Google after this deal was signed. It's at a new all-time high. Apple signs this deal and goes nowhere. And underperforms on that huge rally that we got on Friday. And I don't know that I'm ready to try and short Apple. But my greater thesis is Apple is no longer a growth company. Not while Tim Cook is in charge. They'd rather buy stock than invest. They'd rather issue a dividend. Last company that I know that got away from doing that, stopped innovating, and started buying back stock.
BlackBerry?
That's a good one, too. I want to go back to 2014, 2013, 2012 and look at IBM.
I was going to say IBM.
Yep. This was their big grand plan in 2012 and into 2013. We're going to buy back our stock and get that PE up. Worked pretty darn well through 2013, but then people realized, hey, IBM, it really isn't doing anything. And they're not growing their businesses. And the next thing you know, IBM entered a 10-year purgatory of nothingness. I mean, look at this. From 2022 back to 2013, it was basically in stock purgatory. It wasn't until they got new leadership that actually invested in growth that the stock started performing again. So Apple, Tim Cook is IBMing Apple. Keep your IBM out of my Apple. But that is what he's doing. So, where do I go from here? Well, now let's compare the fundamentals of these two stocks. Apple's carrying a PE of 32, despite, and that PE is inflated because they buy back their stock. When you buy back your stock, what does that do to price earnings ratio? Makes it go up. Makes EPS go up, earnings per share, and so your PE ratio goes up. You look at Apple revenues. I'm going to pull this up, and then I'll get off my little pedestal. You know, it's not like earnings have gone up that much.
Thank goodness. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, seriously. Apple made, you know, the July quarter last year, Apple made $1.40. It made $1.57. I mean, there's some growth there, but it's mostly from buying back the stock. Google, on the other hand, carrying a PE of 22, does not have nearly as robust of a stock buyback program as Apple does, and is heavily investing in AI. So my theory is Google's got to play catch up. It has, I believe, the lowest or the second lowest price earnings ratio of any of the great 8. Meta is about a 27. Microsoft is 37. We all know NVIDIA is 57-ish. Tesla is going to be 197. AVGO 107. Amazon at a reasonable 35 for Amazon. But you see my point. Google is the only one of these with a reasonable, maybe Meta, that has a reasonable historical price earnings ratio. And so I like near term and long term. Who is the 8th of the great 8? Broadcom, AVGO. Broadcom is worth more than Tesla and is worth almost as much as some of these other names. AVGO is worth $1.4 billion. Trillion, excuse me. Trillion.
$1 billion.
Yeah. 1.9 trillion for Meta. Tesla's 1.1 trillion. So yeah, you have to include Broadcom. So my trade would be I'm carrying a lot of Apple. I would reduce some of my Apple exposure and go out and buy Google. That is my trade. Or if I don't have anything, shorting Apple is incredibly difficult. I think we can all agree on that. But doesn't mean you have to buy it. So I like rolling through and picking up Google. All right. Now, Andrew, do you have any ideas that you want to bring to us, or you just want to weigh in on me and Lisa?
No, I got a couple. I like your Apple idea as it wanes in and out. So I got a couple ideas here. I know this one this is a little off. I'm curious what Lisa thinks. Virtu Financial.
Market making fund.
I'm an owner of this stock. However, their earnings growth with the growth in markets has been absolutely insane. It had a high of the year in the mid 40s. It doesn't have a lot of option action. It does pay about $1 a year in dividends. It was like 1 year ago, that stock was in the 20s, I believe. Yep. Like a little like low 20s. I think I picked some of this up at our conference the year before last.
Mm-hmm.
In the low, I'm going to say like 1918 range. I like, again, realized vol super low, option prices pretty cheap. It's just not a big mover. It's probably better for just like a put right or something like that, or buying a long-term call, but it does pay a dividend.
Price earnings ratio of under 10.
It's an insane, like, this is a buy on dip stock for me because it's one of the better algo managed properties. And AI, this is like a closet AI thing. It could be like a Flash 5 stock. It's just the volume part is hard. But it has the goodies in there.
The irony that the second most active option market making firm doesn't have active options in its own stock is not lost upon me.
I think that, like, a lot of principals own a lot of the stock. The float's relatively light. It's just one of those. Anyway, this is this to me is a buy on dip stock for me. I like continuing to add this to my portfolio. My negative today, of course, is going to be any vol product, UVXY, VXX. I expect lows for the week on any of those. So VXX decaying at like 60 cents a day or something right now. Hold on, let me see. I don't really have a lot of short candidates because the market keeps going up.
I know.
So it's like, what do you do? Yeah, VXX is decaying $1.25 a week.
Yeah.
This is going to be a $35 stock by the end of the week. When the NVIDIA earnings come out, I don't even know where, there's no vol left anymore. So this is a good candidate as a short. And my sleeper one, and I'm curious about what Alicia thinks on the charts, although it's having kind of a negative day. This one, Campbell Soup, it appears at bottom. This is another value stock, pays a big dividend. And again, volatility, I've been creating diagonal calendar spreads in this, which is not really what we're here for, but the option prices are ultra cheap in here. So you're getting like it's a 30 volatility in the stock. It's relatively inexpensive options. Like a 35 call out to October is 75 cents. So again, this is trades at a 10 PE. This is another one. The market starts getting highly valued like it is. Some of these dividend paying stocks start to circle back into favor. It's the cyclicality thing. I've accumulated this one as well, but I sold some 31.5 puts in this today. So, but I think the options are cheap enough, like a 33 call for $1.50 out to October. Just and it looks like it's coming back. I'd like to know what Alicia thinks, but those are my longs and shorts for today.
All right. And of course, last but not least is our own Queen of the Candles.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say Andrew would never, ever, ever be short of ideas. He always has. If it comes to stock trading and options trading, he has always full of ideas.
Full of something.
I think you're right. I think Campbell's is making a rounded bottom here, Andrew. You do have earnings coming up, but it looks like it wants to trade back to 40.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
It has a nice little hammer there on the low. I like it.
How I've been playing it is long November strangles, and I've been just writing puts every week against my 30 put in here, and it's been a great little trade. But I like the fact that you say it's picking up. That makes me feel good.
I also like your Virtu financial. I like that the last pullback held that previous high there, held our trend line here. Viable trend line, bounced off of it, 41.40. Now it's trading back into this nice channel. The previous high, 45.32, I think is your next target. I like that one too. But I have to say, so my trades, my ideas, I went back to gold futures again. Gold futures held my support, had a very nice bullish engulfing on Wednesday, paused a little bit before giving us the confirmation and show us the price that it is going to trade higher. And big rally Friday, I think gold futures are going to continue to 34.54. So my choice would be GLD. My short was Apple before Friday. My write-up was on the 21st, so negate that. I think you're right, Mark. Just don't buy Apple, but don't short it. I do like your idea on Google, Mark.
I like Mark's Google ideal too.
Google is breaking out over that previous high, so it's not making a double top. That could be a nice line for your stop loss, which is always nice to have. And I think Google 213 in the near future. I like Google.
All right. So let's look at Google then. Is that would you say Google's your favorite of these?
I think Google or gold.
I do like gold. What's your take on AMD? It's been a little bit weird since it exploded. That'd be the last one I'd want to look at.
I do like Andrew's idea, the VI.
Oh yeah, VXX.
I don't mind that. And look at AMD holding that trend line. Now you just saw that in live action. I just drew it.
Look at you.
Isn't that awesome when that happens? Yes. I like AMD. It is consolidating a little bit here before showing us it wants to rally, but held the support, a mini double bottom there. I like 174.5. Maybe wait till it clears 167.5. I don't like the pullback today, but yes, I think it's going to trade higher.
All right. So
I would wait on AMD.
Yeah, so I like the Google idea. I think that's probably our kind of agreed upon favorite trade. And looking at Google,
I mean, Google's really the only one that's still growing revenue. I was pretty surprised that it was staying below 200 for as long as it did.
Yeah,
I mean, they're the one that's growing.
Yeah,
they're the one of the group that's actually growing closer to. Well, Nvidia is growing like crazy, but Google is the one that
the more established ones, if you will.
I see Vicky has an opinion. Vicky, why don't you like Google?
Oh, I think the political overtones of Google.
Oh, well, yeah. we can't let that cloud our trading.
Yep. We don't trade our politics here, folks.
Well, that, if you're doing that, you'd be out of the market every 4 years or 8 years. You'd miss, You
don't have to invest in it, but you can still trade it. That's what I say.
Exactly. Just be in it for a week or so.
All right. I'm going to ask you to be patient and wait for this to come to you. I'm bidding. I want to pay. I'm looking at the Google September 210 calls. I want to pay less than $6. Currently, they're about $6.30. As you know, the market's kind of been all over the place today. So, at some point, the ebb and flow will bring it to you. So I'm going to plug this into portfolio, then I'll drop it below. And I'm targeting $10. So, folks, we will... I will, though, however, drop this into chat so that you guys can see it. All right, folks. If you have not signed up already or seen this tomorrow, Alicia and I are going to be live from 7 o'clock, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time. That's 6 o'clock Central. Alicia is going to be giving you a little clinic on charts and how she uses them to outperform the S&P. So if you've not registered to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m., what I'm going to ask you to do is to change that. How do you do that? It's easy. You can click this link that I'm now dropping in here, and I am now pinning. And you can join me and Alicia. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. And it is going to be worth your time.
Yes, it will.
Click the link I just dropped in chat or that I pinned to the top. And join me and Alicia tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Mark Robbins asking if you'll wear pumps and in support of my webinar.
I tell you what, I'll go to the gym and pump some iron.
Oh, okay. We'll take that.
All right.
Or he can just still big blonde hair pumps.
Yeah, although Lauren's feet are big enough, I could fit in a pair if I needed to. My feet are. The difference is I've got like these Cro-Magnon wide feet, so I would like stretch out her heels. She would not be happy with me. So we won't be doing that. All right, everybody. Once again, click this link and join me and Alicia tomorrow. And for Andrew T. Giovinazzi, our Viking of Volatility, and Alicia J. Leslie, Queen of the Candles, or you can just call her Queen. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. We'll be back with you at 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, and another Ticker Highlight show next Monday. No, the Ticker Highlight show will be Tuesday because markets are closed on Monday. So little programming update.
I got another day off. Woohoo!
Yeah, look at you. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great trading week. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it.